With the new Blumhouse Halloween film on the horizon, let's take a look back at some of the best moments in the beloved horror franchise thus far. Hey movie fans, like most horror fans, I'm counting down the days until the release of Halloween, which looks to be a return to form in the classic slasher series. It's been far too long since last we saw Michael Myers in a movie, and even longer since we saw him in a good movie. Thanks, zombie.
I'm not listening!
Fingers crossed, director David Gordon Green can bring some of the magic back. So, today, to celebrate one of my all-time favorite movie franchises, we're taking a look back at the best moments in the series. Kicking us off at number 10 is an entry from Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, originally titled Halloween 666. While the film is far from good, it does however have one of the series' best kills and to a character that frankly had it coming. The character in question is John Strode, a loving reference to John Carpenter, director of the original Halloween. This John, however, is the biggest tool in the film and thankfully gets the best ending. John comes home expecting dinner from his wife Deborah, a reference to Deborah Hill, producer of the original Halloween, who sadly has already been murdered by Michael Myers. After discovering bloody clothes in the washing machine, John is pushed into a circuit breaker by Michael Myers. After a few excruciating seconds, John is electrocuted and gets his head blown up in comedic fashion.
Good riddance to bad rubbish.
In at number 9 is a personal favorite of mine and one of my favorite cameos in any film, horror or otherwise. In the series' 7th installment, otherwise known as Halloween H2O since it was released 20 years after the original film, Jamie Lee Curtis reprises her role as heroine Laurie Strode. However, this time she brought some family with her in the form of real-life mother, Janet Leigh, as a school employee. What makes the moment so special is that Janet Leigh is best known for her role in the film Psycho, a film that played a heavy influence in the creation of Halloween. Not only does she have a great exchange with Jamie Lee about the girl's showers being clogged, a reference to Psycho, she also leaves in the same car she stole in Psycho. It's a nice moment between real-life mother and daughter, and a fun Easter egg for die-hard horror fans. At number 8, we bounce back in the Halloween timeline to the second film. Following the events of the first film, Laurie Strode is recovering Haddonfield Memorial Hospital, with Michael Myers not far behind. After a long game of cat and mouse, Laurie is trapped in an emergency room when Dr. Loomis, Michael's doctor, runs in to make the save. Laurie shoots Myers in the eyes, blinding him. Laurie and Loomis then fill the room with gas as Laurie escapes, making a heroic final stand. Well, until he magically comes back to life in part 4, but let's forget about that. Loomis flicks on his lighter, sending him and Myers up in flames. Speaking of Halloween part 4, number 7 features Jamie Lloyd, the daughter of Laurie Strode. Michael is on the hunt to kill Laurie's daughter due to some dumb magic curse that shall not be discussed here. Having survived a deadly evening running from Michael, Jamie returns home to be with her family when her mother starts to get a bath ready for her. From there, we get a point of view shot not too dissimilar to a scene we will talk about later. The shot leads us to Jamie's adopted mom, who is promptly murdered from the perspective of whoever we are looking through. It is then revealed to us that the killer is little Jamie, standing at the top of the stairs wearing a mask and holding a bloody knife. Like uncle, like niece. Aww. Jamie is now the new killer. It was a great twist and a genuinely shocking ending that could have opened up a whole new world of possibilities for the series. Sadly, that ending will be retconned for the very next movie, instead making Jamie a quasi-telepathic mute and with no mention of the end of her actions at the end of part 4. At number 6, we have the standout moment from Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. While many hate this installment for not having Michael Myers at all, I think the film is often overlooked in a fun flick in the vein of classic Twilight Zone episodes. Love or hate the film, it boasts one of the most unsettling and disturbing scenes in the entire franchise. The scene showcases an average family being shown a big commercial for Silver Shamrock.
Happy, happy Halloween, 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 happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
Try getting that jingle out of your head now. You're welcome! The son is wearing a special silver shamrock mask that unfortunately is not all it appears to be. As the commercial plays, the boy's pumpkin mask begins to turn into a rotting pumpkin, but underneath, his head is rotting as well. He collapses on the floor, to which all sorts of bugs and snakes crawl and slither out from the holes in his rotting pumpkin. It's a truly disturbing scene that comes out of nowhere and leaves an impact long after it ends. For number 5, we go all the way back to the original 1978 classic, John Carpenter's Halloween. When it comes to kills, it's hard to top the original. While the original has plenty of iconic deaths, one stands above the rest. Well, More like dangles lifelessly above the rest, but you get the idea. Yes, I'm referring to the classic pinning against the door kill. Our dead meat in question is Bob, who was just trying to grab some beer for him and his lady friend. He is then murdered by Michael Myers in a fantastic jump scare. Michael lifts him up one-handed and proceeds to stab him onto the door. From there, we get the iconic Michael Myers head tilt to really cap off a fantastic death, even if the physics don't really add up. For our number 4 slot, we go back to Halloween 2, this time with a scene that forever changed the story and the direction of the Halloween franchise. The scene in question sees Dr. Loomis and Marion, an assistant from the first film, in a police car being taken out of Haddonfield. It's at this time when Marion reveals a huge game-changing twist. Laurie Strode is actually Laurie Myers, and is in fact the little sister of Michael Myers. This changes the dynamic of Michael being a force of pure evil killing all in his path, to a killer with a specific purpose, to kill any living member of his family. Yeah, you could argue this took away from Michael, but it made for an interesting twist and launched the franchise into a new, interesting direction. More like sequel bait material, but it kept the franchise going. Jumping back to the original film for number 3, we have one of the scariest examples of Michael Myers being an unstoppable force of evil. Leading up to this moment, Laurie has hidden in a closet to escape from Michael after already stabbing him in the neck with a knitting needle. Once Michael discovers she's in there, Laurie thinks quickly and fashions a knife out of a coat hanger. She stabs him in the eye, causing him to drop his knife. She grabs it and stabs him with his own weapon, seemingly finishing him off. She takes a moment to rest, thinking she's won. Maybe if Michael Myers was a normal man, he would. But nope. In the background, he sits up Undertaker style in a brilliant shot framing. He is no longer something that could be stopped, but pure and simply evil. For number 2, we go to the final showdown between Michael Myers and Laurie Strode. Well, the one I choose to count as the final showdown. Stupid Halloween Resurrection. In Halloween H2O, Laurie has become a headmaster at a private school in California, having successfully escaped Michael Myers. However, Michael finds her, and thus we have our final confrontation between predator and prey. Except this time, Laurie is ready. Honorable mention goes to that fantastic score moment when Laurie stays to fight off Michael Myers. The moment that earns the spot is when Laurie pins Michael between a car and a hard place. He extends a hand to Laurie as he tries to appeal to her humanity. But, being the great heroine she is, Laurie takes one massive swing and chops off Michael's head, ending him once and for all. Ish. Finally, what is the best and most significant moment in the Halloween franchise? Well, to find that, we gotta go back to the beginning. To the very beginning of the first film, right down to the first kill. What follows is a masterclass in building suspense and tension, leading up to a great scare and an even better reveal. Here we get an incredibly long shot that nearly lasts the entire scene. There is one quick break, but other than that, the whole scene is one shot. We follow the perspective of a mysterious figure who picks up a knife and makes their way upstairs. This figure then proceeds to brutally murder a young girl who has just finished, having fun with a boy. We then discover that the killer is a young child by the name of Michael Myers, and a legend is born. The tension builds throughout and leads to a magnificent payoff, kickstarting a fantastic film and sparking a whole new wave of horror that inspired generations to come. Well, what are your favorite moments from the Halloween franchise? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like what you see and want to see more, subscribe to the channel, or find me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at Uncharted Media. Stay sharp, movie guys and gals!